Hi guys, what is up? If you are new around here, my name is Michael and I do not typically make these kind of videos, which is why I'm very excited. So a little backstory. I used to be like a massive reader in middle school. It was a huge hobby of mine and I spent a lot of time reading and was very passionate about books. And I kind of fell out of it, which is like so sad, but with Book Talk and BookTube, I have really gotten back into it and have been loving reading, spending a lot of my time doing it. So I am currently reading the Addicted to You series. I am about to start book number 4, but I wanted to pause because it is October 26th to be exact, and we are going to read Verity by Colleen Hoover. If you are on Book Talk or BookTube, you know that Colleen Hoover is like blowing up right now. Everybody loves her stuff. I have never read any of her work, but I'm very excited. Everyone says that this is a super spooky little thriller book that will really put you in the spooky, scary mood. So I thought this would be perfect to read right before Halloween. It's pretty tiny. I think it's like 300 pages and it has like a pretty big font. So I'm very excited. Definitely read the like trigger warnings before purchasing this book. That's what everybody else said to do. So anyways, I'm super excited. This video is going to be filled with spoilers. So if you have not read this and you are planning on reading it, maybe don't watch, maybe come back and watch after you've read it. So I'm so excited. I've got some free time right now. I definitely should be editing a video instead of reading, but Lucy is asleep and I just like want to start so bad. So we're gonna jump in. Okay guys, it is the next day. Literally yesterday, I'm not even joking, I opened the book, read 2 pages, and then somebody woke up. So I didn't get to read at all yesterday, but I'm about 30 pages in now. And let me just say, she's not holding back. Like, we are jumping straight into it. Like a man gets hit by a car on the first page. That's a lot, you know what I mean? Also, my thoughts. It was very obvious that Jeremy was like the guy that she was going into the meeting. Like I called it, like they were in the bathroom. He was giving her his shirt and I was like, oh, she's about to meet this man. Also very obvious that like he's married to the author lady. So like I already know that she's about to get this job, right? We already know that. What's his name? Corey, I think is his name or whatever. The like her like boss guy, the guy that like handles all of her book stuff, her manager, I don't know what you would call him. I'm like very confused on if he's a good guy or not. I don't think his character is probably gonna be like super important, but I'm like, he's very hard to read. Like I can't tell if he's like a genuine guy or what the deal is. I'm also very excited to hear about why her childhood was so bad. Like why is she thankful like that she doesn't have her mom's burden anymore? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not very far into it, but that's what I have observed so far. I'm very excited to keep reading. Hi cutie tootie booties. Okay. Lucy and I went on a little coffee date this morning and I read like 10 pages of my book or something because there was this like loud ass man talking. So I didn't really get very far, but they are definitely building the tension between homegirl, what is the main character's name? Literally, I have no idea, and Jeremy. So that's exciting. Also, obviously she's gonna take like the book deal. At the part they just had the meeting about it, so exciting things. I am very excited to put her down so I can keep reading. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, it's the next day. It's Friday, October 29th, I guess. And I'm about 90 pages into my book now, and I feel like I know what's gonna happen, so I'm gonna tell you like what I think, but everybody keeps saying like, oh my god, like the ending was so crazy, like not at all what I expected. So I'm like, okay, I have to be wrong. But I think what's gonna happen is that Lowen, the main character, is going to keep reading the manuscript and find out that Verity had something to do with her second daughter's death. So her first daughter passes away because of an allergic reaction, and her second daughter drowns in a lake. And I think Verity has something to do with the daughter drowning. And then I think she like can't live with herself after the fact and runs her car into a tree, and that's why she's in a vegetated state, I guess. I think that's what's gonna happen, and I don't know if I think Lowen is gonna tell Jeremy about it, or he's somehow going to like figure it out and they're gonna like run away together or something. I don't know. There's obviously like a lot of chemistry between them. Also, Jeremy, like before all the tragedy in his life, was like, I can see why Verity fell in love with the man. You know what I mean? Also, Verity. Bitch. Okay, like, go off, queen. She's like a lot. So anyways, yeah, I think I'm on like chapter 5 or 6 or something like that. I also like the fact that it goes between chapters of the book that like you're reading and then the chapters of Verity's autobiography manuscript. I think that's really cool, and I like that you can like differentiate. Yeah, so that's where we're at. That's where we're at. We're about a third of the way done with the book, I would say, because we're almost 100 pages through, and I think it's like 300 pages. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, I'm on page like 135 or something, and it just keeps getting like realer and realer, okay? The part that I'm at, literally like what just happened is Crew just cut his chin in Verity's room, and Lowen is like in the bathroom like trying to clean him up and like figure out what happened. That's literally the part that I'm at, and I only have like 2 pages left in this chapter before we get back to reading the manuscript, which is like arguably my favorite part of the story. I feel like it's probably a lot of people's favorite parts. And I'm like, oh my God, like I am just so craving to get home and like keep reading because it's just so good. Like I am fully sucked in. It's so good. The fact that Verity like tried to abort her daughters, like I really want to know what happens. Like Lowen thinks that she, you know, like gave birth and like loved them, whatever. I don't think that's the case. I also want to know how Crew came into the picture, because like Lowen said, like why would Verity have another baby? Like she hated it so much the first time. I'm like fully invested, so excited to keep reading. So I will update you guys. Oh my God, you guys. Lucy was just napping, so I took that time to read for a little bit. I'm now about 200 pages in. I think I've got like 100 pages left, and holy shit. Everybody said to read the trigger warnings before you read the book, and I didn't because I was like, I listen to true crime, I like scary movies, like really not gonna be that bad. And I feel like even if you did read the trigger warnings, this was still just like really intense. If you've never read the book, I'm not gonna say what happens because like I don't want to talk about that. But basically I'm at the part where, oh my God, my cat just walked across the counter and I saw it in the reflection and it scared the shit out of me. Anyways, basically I'm at the part where Verity tries to harm her child. I had to close the book like the second that she started to imply what was happening. I closed the book. Lucy was asleep on me, and I literally was like, I'm either gonna start crying or I need to get up and like vomit. So I like put her in her crib, and I just like went to the bathroom and like took a breath, and decided that I'm not gonna be able to finish that chapter. I think there's like 2 pages left in that chapter. I'm not gonna be able to read that. So I'm just skipping to the next chapter. And God, I feel like concerned a little bit for Colleen. Like, bestie, how do you write something like that? Like, I think it might have been a little bit more intense because I'm literally holding my 6-month-old daughter, that she was like, you know, she's writing about her 6-month-old daughter. So I think that maybe made it like a little more real, but holy shit, that was intense. Like that was a lot. That was too much. Also last night I was describing the book to Miguel, and he was like, oh my God, this sounds so good. Like, I want to read it. So he's going to read it. And I'll put his reaction, him talking about the book after he reads it at the end of this video. If he reads it in time for this video to go out. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to have him read it and talk about it with him. Yeah, I don't really know. Obviously, I think I read the part where Crew like got a cut on his chin and then the knife was gone. So obviously, I think Verity is like playing pretend that she's in a vegetative state. I don't think she actually is, or there's just something crazy weird going on. I don't know. I'm very excited to find out. I really hope that that is the only part that like makes me want to vomit and that I literally cannot physically read. I hope it's not like this going on, like there's no more scenes like that. But anyway, I just wanted to update you guys. Also, Lulu is in her kite baby. Look at how cute. This is a 3 to 6 month on her, and she usually she wears 0 to 3 months, and she will be 5 months next week. So it's a little bit big, but anyway, I gotta go poop. Hi you guys, I think I just did a really bad parking job. That's so embarrassing. I'm about to go into the eye doctor, but I wanted to update you guys on where I'm at. I stayed up last night reading after Miguel went to bed, and I have this much left. And so far what has happened since I last talked to you, Jeremy and Lowen finally kissed, and then Lowen saw Verity at the top of the stairs and like freaked out. Everything was fine. She was just exhausted. I read the chapter in Verity's manuscript where Harper dies. Called that from the very beginning that Verity was going to have something to do with Harper's death. And then Lowen like scared the shit out of Verity, made her pee her pants. Lowen and Verity had a very fun night, or not Verity, Lowen and Jeremy had a very fun night. And I'm at the part where Jeremy just told Lowen that he's going to put Verity in a home during the week, and then for the weekend have her. So I'm very excited to finish it. I really don't know what's gonna happen at this point. Like Verity or Lowen is trying to figure out if she should give Jeremy the manuscript or not. I 100% would be like, this is who your wife was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So I think she's gonna give it to him. I think Jeremy's gonna freak out, and then I think Verity's gonna like reveal that she's not in this vegetative state. I don't know. All right, I gotta go. Holy shoot. Holy shoot. Goose and I are reading. We just finished Verity's manuscript officially. And oh my God, Jeremy knows that Verity killed Harper. What do you think is gonna happen next? It's so good. It's so good. You guys have got to be freaking kidding me. I literally just got to the part where Verity opens up her eyes when Jeremy's like, if you don't wake up right now, I'm taking this to the police and you're never gonna see Crew again. And then what happens? My beautiful, wonderful little grandma calls me and she's like, let's go to breakfast. So now I can't even finish reading what was going on. She literally called me at the most inconvenient time. So I'm just gonna have to wait till I get home to keep reading. I'm like on the edge of my seat. I did it. Lucy and I just took like a 2-hour nap and I woke up and I finished it. So it ends off where like Lowen is pregnant and her and Jeremy and Crew are like living happily ever after, and they bought a new house and whatever, and they killed Verity, which like totally saw coming that she was like faking her injuries. What I did not see coming was that Lowen was going to find that note that Verity wrote to him being like, you know, that was all not real, like that was fake. And it totally leaves us in this like open-ended, what is the real thing, like who actually is Verity place. My hair is just like so bad, like crazy bedhead. So I personally personally, and I want to know your guys' thoughts. So please in the comments down below, tell me what you think, what you believe. I personally think that no mother could write that about their own child, even though this is like fiction. I don't think a mother could actually write those awful things about their children. So I think that she actually was a really bad person. I think that she was a really bad person. And I think that she knew that Lowen had the manuscript. She knew that Jeremy was going to read it at some point. And I think that she wrote the note to Jeremy to try to cover her tracks because she really was planning on leaving with Crew, and that's crazy. So that's what I personally think. I don't think that she was a good person. I really wonder if Colleen Hoover, as she was writing this, like knows. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if she'll ever answer the question of like, was Verity a good person or not? Like, did she actually do all this stuff or not? But just personally, as a mom, I don't think that a good mother could ever write that horrendous stuff about their child. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that is it. We have finished Verity. If you guys like this vlog, let me know, because I would love to do more of these. I want to continue reading Colleen Hoover. I definitely want to read all of her books at some point. It's obviously going to take a while. I think the next one of her books I'm going to read is November 9th, because that is coming up this weekend. So we'll see if I can get that book, because I don't actually currently have it, and they didn't have it at Barnes & Noble. So yeah, I also have Daisy Jones and the Six. I bought that at Walmart for like 10 bucks. And so that is currently in my pile to read. I'm also in the middle of the Addicted to You series. So like, I've got a bunch of things that I'm currently reading. I also have a bunch of book reports that I have to do for school, so I need to get to that at some point. But anyways, like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know, because I have a ton of other books that I would totally do reading vlogs of. This was really fun. I feel like I got to talk to you guys about what was going on and how I was feeling and what I thought was going to happen. I will let you know if Miguel reads this. Maybe I'll post a TikTok of his thoughts or post it on Instagram. But I definitely recommend this book. It was like, I'm gonna give it a solid 4 stars. It was really, really good. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to have a conversation with you guys about it. So love you so much. Goodbye.